I've been very fortunate over the past 20 years to work in an industry that allows me an opportunity to really bring health and energy and vitality to people. Had a very unique opportunity to work with professional athletes over this 20 years, and my real focus had been on nutrition, supplementation, exercise, and that type of thing. But just that opportunity to work with such a broad range of everybody from young to old, male to female, athlete and non-athlete, I had always thought that if we can change the quality of the food that the athlete or the individual is consuming, then that's a great thing. And so I focused really on the diet and the supplementation and enzymes and probiotics and things like that. But what I realized is when we found out that the body is made up primarily of water, maybe we're focusing on the wrong aspect. If the largest component of our body is made up of water, maybe we should take a real close look at the quality of that water. And that's what's been real unique about being able to be part of this organization that teaches alkaline-based water and changing the pH of the body based upon the water that we're drinking. It really brought a whole new perspective to what we do in this industry.
I'm a sports nutritionist, but originally I was a natural bodybuilding champion of Canada. I won 3 titles, 15 years of training and expertise in that area, and went into sports nutrition, the development of products, nutritional products, and have taken that all around the world.
I have my master's, and then I went on to get my doctorate in physical therapy. I've been practicing now about 11 years, and I specialize in outpatient orthopedic physical therapy. And about 2 years after I started practicing, I met my husband, and soon after we started a physical therapy clinic called In Motion OC. And we started our facility because we just weren't happy with what we were seeing in the world of physical therapy and healthcare. And we just set out to give our patients an amazing experience and the best type of physical therapy we knew how to give.
We're very unique in that not only do we have the physical therapy with the postural therapy and combine and marrying that together, but very few physical therapy clinics also have a gym within that same facility where they have that next step program right there with people they trust. And our fitness programs are co-designed by our licensed physical therapists, by our fitness coaches, and by our postural specialists. So they're ideally written for people who were just physical therapy patients. We don't get a lot of 21-year-old guys looking for the bigger biceps come walking in our door and joining our gym. We have people who are real people who want to improve their lifestyle, want to get healthy and stay healthy, and that's what we help them do.
I used to be a wannabe pro bodybuilder. In 1990 I placed 3rd in the Ironman bodybuilding competition, and in my class, a middleweight class, there was 132 competitors. So as being involved in bodybuilding and nutrition, I wanted to go back to school and get a degree. So I decided to go to school in University of Florida, and I got a degree in food science, human nutrition, and a minor in exercise kinesiology. And after being there for school, I came back to California, and I was hired as a registered dietitian at Torrance Memorial Medical Center. And after working there for 5 years, I kind of became disenchanted with the clinical world, if you will. And I decided to go back into the fitness industry, and I became the head dietitian for the Sports Club Irvine, Sports Club LA. And at the sports club, I was seeing clients for weight loss, weight gain, sports nutrition, and I was seeing clients from 6:30 in the morning till about 7, 8 o'clock at night.
I actually work with women primarily over the age of 40 in it's not only personal training, but mind, body, and nutrition components. And so I started incorporating the water in with their programs. Started seeing immediate results with them. Again, the primary thing that I always hear is, you know, either sleeping better. Sleep is a really big one, especially for women over 40. They were sleeping better, they were waking up feeling refreshed, they were more energized, they had more energy during the day, and the big changes that I saw with them when I was with them and working with them was that their workouts, their training times were either more effective, they were training harder or longer, they were actually pushing themselves harder. So I was able to bring them up to another level just by adding one other component, which was the water, because we were already working on the nutrition, we were already working on the physical components of it. And when we started incorporating the water, and those ladies that truly continued with it, those are the ladies that were seeing absolutely amazing results.
Personally, I've noticed some amazing benefits. I mean, I've always been into sports, I've always been into athletics, I've always been into fitness, nutrition, all of those types of things. So I've always tried to keep my body as healthy as possible. And that's not to mean that I live a perfect lifestyle. I don't. I mean, I think all of us cheat, if you will, a little bit and maybe eat something wrong. But I never realized that maybe I was drinking something wrong, if you will, by having bottled water. And when I found out that bottled water is primarily acidic and that every clubhouse that I go into, professional or amateur or workout facility, that almost the only type of water that is available to these athletes or to these clientele are bottled acidic waters, I realized having an alkaline water available can and does change the quality of that life. So being able to incorporate it into my own personal life, a lot of people notice changes and benefit immediately. I didn't. It took me a couple of 2 or 3 weeks before I really even noticed much different. But I moved through my system, if you will, stuff that I know I would have never thought for the life of me was inside of me. And I believe that the only way of being able to get a lot of those toxins out of my body was by changing the pH of that entire system, going from acidic to alkaline. I know just being an athlete from the past, I had a lot of joint pain, knees and ankles and feet and back. And just by increasing that hydration, changing the pH of the largest component of my body, which is water, changing that has truly allowed me a whole new level of energy and recovery potential that I've never had in the past.
So when I first heard about Kangen water, about some Japanese technology that was changing the water, I was just like, this sounds a little bit hokey, like a little bit too good to be true. But the person who invited me to check this out said, look, just suspend your disbelief, come on out and try that. And I said, well, I really don't have anything to lose, and I'd probably have a lot of fun proving this guy wrong. And boy, was I surprised. It was me who got proven wrong, and I'm very happy to say that. This water, the actual structure was different than the water that I was drinking. Now keep in mind, I'd been studying water for 10 years, and so I knew there was a little bit to that. I had filters and spinners and all these sort of things that I'd attempted to improve the quality of my water. But what he was saying was some pretty radical things, like it was microclustered, it had a smaller cluster, and it had antioxidant power, and it was proven to hydrate you better. I was like, well, I got to check this stuff out. And sure enough, when I started to get inside it and experiment for myself, I was very, very excited about what I found. Well, the first thing I noticed is when I drank it, I didn't feel any bloating. And later on, we had nuclear resonance imaging to demonstrate that it was actually getting into the cells faster. And of course, absorption into the cells is something that every person in the sports industry is looking at. So when I looked at those two things, and then I started applying in my clinic and with my own clients, then I started to see a whole host of other benefits that weren't obvious in just, you know, the science behind the water, and that became very exciting.
Recently, there was a seminar being put on at our facility that I didn't have anything to do with. I wasn't the one scheduling it. I had somebody working for me who scheduled it. And when I got closer to the event and I saw who was the speaker, I realized it was a friend of mine that my wife and I have known for many years. And so I was interested, what's that all about? I happened to be the only one who could close that night, so that's the only reason why I even went to this seminar. And it was on Kangen water. And I sat in the back just as a courtesy to my friend to be there. I wanted to be in my office working on my computer. And I stayed, I listened, and it was interesting, but I wouldn't say that I was captivated because I was only halfway listening. I wasn't there to really, you know, for the seminar. I was there to close up that night. And afterwards, I talked with him, and he said a few things that got me a little bit more interested. We decided to go out to dinner together with our wives, and that began a process of learning about this water. So we've had our facility now for a little while, and it has been phenomenal. The initial process of getting this water into our clinic, giving it to our patients, to our fitness members, to our employees, it's been exciting.
When I first heard about the water, I was intrigued. Again, I just thought water was water, but in listening to this friend with his background as a registered dietitian, I figured what he had to say was important. So the first time I tried the water, I chugged a quart of water instantly, and I kind of felt like I was tingling, had popcorn in my head, and he joked with me and said I didn't have much oxygen in my brain. But that was intriguing to me. The fact that water could make a difference so quickly in my body, that opened my eyes. And I started drinking the water. And the personality type I am, I drink a lot of water. So I didn't just start with a little bit. I started with a half a gallon and quickly moved to a gallon of water a day. And the results I personally had were phenomenal. And I have to experience the results for myself in order to feel comfortable recommending anything to my patients in my facility and my fitness members, because they are looking to us, they trust us. And so again, it's important that that we know what we're giving to them.
One of my old-time friends that I've been friends for over 19 years referred one of his business partners to me. I come from a clinical background. My dad was a doctor, my mom was a doctor, my brother's a doctor, my other brother's a chemical engineering professor. So to me it just sounded like a lot of BS. And BS stands for belief system. As she was telling me that she dropped 30 pounds drinking water, in my head that just didn't compute. A pint of water weighs a pound. So if I weigh 200 pounds and drink a pint of water, I now weigh 201 pounds. Now, bodybuilders have a little trick we do, is that we drink a gallon of ice water, or actually 2 gallons of ice water a day. Ice water is 32 degrees. Your body has to heat it up to body temperature, which takes roughly 100 to 150 calories. So if you were to drink 2 gallons of ice water a day, you burn 300 calories. Well, a pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So mathematically, drinking water and dropping 30 pounds just made no sense to me. And every week I saw this lady on our follow-up session. She would say, you have to look at my Kangen water this, Kangen water that. So I finally called my friend and I said, what is the deal with this water? And he goes, oh, it's like nothing you've heard before. Well, because of the type of clientele that I have and where I worked and my background, weekly I get people that are coming with the latest powder pill or potion or lotion that is like nothing else I've ever heard. So I said, look, I have lots of water in my office. Thank you, but no thank you. Well, luckily for me, I guess, he disregarded my brush off and decided to show up to my office with 2 quarts of water. And he walks in and goes, hey, I brought you some of that Kangen water. And I said, hey, thanks, but I got lots of water here. Water is water. He goes, okay, I'll leave right now if you prove to me that water is just water. And I said, sure, what do I have to do? He goes, well, grab a cup, go to your bathroom, scoop up some water from the toilet and drink it for me. And if water is water, it shouldn't matter where it came from. And I said, well, it does matter where it's been. And he goes, exactly.
Well, funny enough, actually my husband purchased the machine while I was gone at a training. I was training for a figure competition and had no idea that he had purchased it. I came home from the trip and he's like, honey, I have this new water machine, and I had no idea what that was. And I began drinking it, and then at the time I was in preparation, as I said, for a figure competition. So I was very lean, very clean. I was eating a completely clean diet. I was probably about as alkaline as a human body can be, and didn't understand the concept of how that water was going to make any difference at all. And interestingly enough, at the time that we first started, when we had first bought the machine, and I was getting ready for the competition, we had attended a conference. And I'm sitting in the conference the very first morning, just had my water, and I had a water bottle with me, which I've always done. And at that time, getting ready, I was about a month out from my competition. And what normally happens in competition is you, along with all of the supplementations and the working out and the training and all the stuff that goes with it, is fat burners are part of your supplementation. And at that time, I was actually taking 8 fat burners a day, 3 in the morning, 3 at lunch, and 2 in the afternoon. And you notoriously start low and you continually build up until the day of competition. And that morning I'm sitting in the conference and I have my bottle of water and I'm drinking my water down, not thinking anything of it because I didn't understand what it was or that it was anything different. And all of a sudden I started feeling really weird, and I was like, what is going on? And I literally could feel the blood coursing through my veins. Now, I wasn't having heart palpitations or anything like that, but I literally could feel it pulsing through me. And I'm like, honey, I feel really weird, and what is going on? And, you know, we've only had the machine for a couple of, I don't know, days or weeks or something. And at the first break, we go up to the room because it kept going. And we go up to the room, and he's like, I think it might be the water. And I'm like, really? Like, what on earth is this? And we came to understand that because of the microclustering, because of how effective this water was, it was delivering my supplements at a much greater level. And all of a sudden, those 8 pills a day were way too much. And I actually went from 8 fat burners a day down to 1. And that's unheard of. And I literally could not take more than 1 fat burner a day for the last month up until my competition. So that was a real big eye-opener for me because, 1, I didn't understand what it was, and 2, to have that big of an effect. Because I didn't feel it in my body any other way. I didn't have any health problems. I didn't notice any particular changes except for that. And that completely opened my eyes. And that is what was the impetus for me to continue to learn what it was and how that was making such a big effect on my body.
Well, the biggest thing that I've seen in the athlete or the general population is changing that pH. And when we look at and understand that the body is supposed to be slightly alkaline, based upon the cooked and processed foods that we consume, based upon the environmental factors, based upon the physical and emotional stresses and all those things that we're faced with, I knew that the body produces a lot of lactic and uric acid. So nutritionally, to try and get people to eat an alkaline diet, that was very difficult. And now over the past 3 years, to have something that people are doing every single day anyway, and that is drinking water. When we change that quality of water from primarily acidic to alkaline, we're able to change that largest component of the body. So your buildup, or lingering, if you will, of that lactic acid and the uric acid and those other acids that are causing and have been proven to increase our risks of sickness, whether it be from disease or general sickness, we're able to see so many people find that health or that quality of life that really, there hasn't really been anything else be able to provide them with that in such a short period of time. Nutrient utilization is more important to focus on than simply nutrient consumption. Often when people think of nutrients, the first thing that comes to mind would be the carbohydrates and the proteins and the fats and the foods that we eat, when in reality, water is a nutrient. And so that same concept holds true to water. If we can increase the utilization of the waters that we are consuming at a cellular level, we in fact alter the hydration of the body. And that, it's just been another aspect that has been so fun to look at, being in this industry for all these years, is we really have an opportunity to easily change that hydration at a cellular level based upon the type of water that we are consuming. So nutrient utilization is never truer than it is right now today over nutrient consumption. We all know people that might drink a lot of water or eat healthy foods, but regardless of how healthy food you eat or how much water you drink, you can still be unhealthy, you can still be dehydrated if those nutrients aren't utilized at a cellular level. And we can truly change that utilization of those nutrients, whether it be foods or the waters that we're consuming.
First thing I did is I tried the water myself, and then I experienced the results, and that was irrefutable in my world. So in other words, I want to get behind something that I believe I've tried, that I've done myself. At that point, I took it upon myself to share with a group of committed people that I was working with and said, hey, look, we're going to take a period of time, we're going to do an intensive hydration therapy with this Kangen water, and we're going to see what we can actually get done here. And we did a 21-day trial with a number of my clients, and the results were mind-blowing. And from there, we started to expand it by putting an actual unit inside our health clinic. And as people came in and we started running little trials with people to say, hey, try this water for 3 weeks and see what your results were. Well, people were making massive transformations with very little effort by using this water, and it became an amazing tool or source for increasing traffic into my clinic. So not only was I getting people inside the water equation, they were getting more water, they were coming back to my clinic more and more and more and buying other products and services we had. In addition, then they started buying these machines for themselves because they didn't want to keep coming into the place all the time to get it. And this word started to go out there, and which drew more and more people about this water that was being offered at my clinic.
Well, I recently had a baby 7 months ago, and I have always been in good shape. I've been working out my whole life, really, 5-6 days a week. And I noticed, for me, what the water did was I hit a plateau. I just couldn't lose any more weight after I had my third child. And it was really frustrating to me, and I started drinking this water with no thoughts, anticipation that I would lose any weight. It's been about 2.5 months now that I started drinking the water, so that has been an amazing thing for me, and also another amazing thing that's made me realize that this water is unique in what it's doing for me. In addition to that, just understanding the body and understanding the physiology of the body and how important water is for your body, and not just any water, it just made sense. It makes so much sense to me.
Now that when I'm recruiting employees to work here, and I'm about to offer them a position, and I give them how much they're going to get paid, and I tell them what the benefits are, one of the benefits that I've always told them since we had our fitness center here is you get free personal training. Well, I'm also now able to tell them you also get free Kangen water, unlimited, and you can also bring some home, and your spouse or your pets can have this water for free just by working here. And it's actually helping people accept the position, because it's a tremendous benefit, and people are realizing that and seeing that, and so it's definitely helped our morale. Our staff has more energy, so we're getting more done. I've noticed that, and it's just people are just appreciative of the fact that we have this water, because they know the difference it's making. We had a fitness challenge where all of our employees for 2 months were working out together, drinking the water together, and trying to see who could have the best results overall. Our staff is now, hook, line, and sinker bought into this water based on their experience. Of course, intellectually, when you learn about it and you see the demonstration, it all is captivating, it all makes sense, and your skepticism becomes interest. But it's really when you try the water when your interest becomes a belief, and that's what's happened with us and our employees as well.
We took our SD501, we hooked it up in our office, and every time somebody would come in either for a nutritional consult or to buy supplements, we would say, look, we're marketing this medical device from Japan that's being sold for home use in the United States. They've used it for well over 30 years in Japan. When you're an athlete, it gets rid of lactic acid buildup, it speeds up recovery, it improves your performance, and we don't believe a word of it. And we've been pretty much hired to do an independent study, and we'd like to know if you'd like to help us. And they would say, well, sure, what do I have to do? And I said, well, it's as simple as drinking water. So once they would buy, yes, I will drink water, I said, well, there's a couple of things besides that. Number one, you can't drink anything carbonated or bottled. You can drink all the wine and beer you like. If you drink coffee, you can make your coffee with this water. And if you drink tea, you can also do the same. And you can use it for cooking and soups and so on. And all that we ask in return is that when you come in, you let us know what you're experiencing. And once they agree to that, I would inform them that the water has 3 amazing properties. The number 1 property is that it's highly antioxidant. The number 2 property is a microclustering, which means that instead of being a number of H2O molecules holding hands, it's only 6 of them. And by being 6 molecules of H2O being held together, the absorption is almost instantaneous. You absorb it through your mouth and your esophagus before it even reaches your stomach. And the third one is that it's alkaline. Unfortunately, 2 of those 3 properties only last about 8 to 24 hours. So to truly help us with this study that we're doing, you would have to come by our office every other day and get fresh water. So that increased the traffic to our office, and we said, because we're looking for a number of people to make the study valid, if you have any friends or family that would like to try this water, please have them come to our office and get water for free. And in return, all we ask is that when you come in and you get more water, we're going to have a little 5x7 card where you can write down what you're experiencing. As soon as I would get their buy-in, I would say, you have to write down the good and the bad. We actually had a retired professional football player who said that when he drank the water, he felt like popcorn was going off in his head, and that's how badly dehydrated he was. So that was pretty much how we got involved into the Enagic Kangen water business. I bought the machine to prove to them that it wouldn't do anything. And it took me from November of 2007 till April of 2008, because of my own clients, patients, and friends telling me what they were experiencing, to really become a believer. And I didn't really take their word for fact either. I did my clinical research, and the number of research that is available for support for this water is just amazing. One of the things I tell people like myself who want the clinical research is that we all know that clinical research can be easily manipulated. So what I recommend is you do what I did. Apply what we call the scientific method. The scientific method is very simple. You create a hypothesis. Your hypothesis is either that the machine works or that it doesn't work. Then you buy a machine, you drink the water, put as many people as you know on the water, and try it out. If you get results, then the hypothesis that the machine doesn't work is not true. And if it does work, then you made amazing results. So I always tell people, instead of carrying water around in jugs and coming here and get it, just buy a machine. Do yourself and your family a favor, put it in your house, drink the water, and see what happens.
I have many clients coming into the fitness facility that we used to have. And so, of course, that helped the traffic flow coming into our facility. But then they also realized that they didn't want to have to keep coming back every other day to get the water, and that it was best fresh out of the machine. And sharing the water with them, they then said, well, how do I get my own machine? And it all happened really organically. It actually happened very naturally. We were drinking the water ourselves. We decided to take the machine to our office. We took it into the facility, started sharing it with our clients. And as they kept coming back and asking, you know what, I really don't want to drive down here every 2 days, I want to get my machine. And we started selling these machines. And we weren't really paying attention because we had our own company, we had our own business, we were fully engrossed in that, we weren't interested in an additional income stream. So we made the decision in March to close our facility, entirely close it down, and work from home. The primary component of our business is our Certified Fitness Nutrition Specialist program. And so that we felt that it would make more sense for us to focus on that program and incorporate the water into what we did. And it changed our lives. And when we have the, NAGIC has the subtitle of Change Your Water, Change Your Lives, it not only changed our lives, it changed our zip code, it changed our lifestyle. And it has been the biggest gift for us in our lives, and what it has done not only for our lives, but what it has done for the lives that we've been able to touch and to share and to change.
We have a facility in Arizona where we have professional athletes coming in from all across the country. They come in to do, whether it be rehab on an injury or whether it be preseason workouts, whatever the case is. We had a preseason football camp that we put on during the lockout for the NFL. And to bring these professional athletes in there and have them have access to the water, and we're talking elite athletes in primarily the NFL, Major League Baseball, and so on and so forth, to have them come in and have access to that water, notice in a short period of time, the period of a camp, the quality of their performance and how it improves. So many of them have come and said, I've got to have that machine in my home. Not only do I want to have it in my home, but I want to also have an additional one that I can take to the facilities with me and take it on the road with me. These are individuals that really have access to all the different kinds of experts that there is out there in the industry. I just can't say how grateful I am to have that missing link to overall health and performance, athletic performance, if you will, that I had missed for all of those years. So the clientele that I'm fortunate to work with truly are elite athletes in the professional athletic world. And they have the opportunity to choose pretty much any product out there in the marketplace, and they choose us.
Most physical therapists will probably agree with me that it is hard to get our patients to be compliant often with their home program and with our fitness members. Sometimes they don't want to work out or eat well when they're not here. But I've noticed that with the water, people have an easier transition in being able to be compliant and drink the water.
Our members really love the fact that they're able to not only drink the water while they're here, but they can take it home as well. And so that's a big benefit on their fitness membership. So they're not just getting the fitness sessions and everything else that we offer them here, but they're also getting this special water, and they get to not only drink it here, but they could take it home as well. Those people are experiencing tremendous results. I have a fitness member yesterday who told me, my wife, that she was able to play with her grandchildren for hours because of the energy that she had, and she knew it was because of not just the working out, but because of the water. She knew it was both those things, and she was thanking us for that, and so that's rewarding.
As a registered dietitian, one of the challenges that we face is that oftentimes you'll have somebody referred to you who for the last 35, 45 years have had horrible habits in eating. And to be honest, changing somebody's diet is as difficult as changing the religion. So when it comes to implementing Kangen water into their lifestyle, it's as easy as filling up a glass and drinking it. They're already drinking water, they're already drinking something, so when we are able to show them that what they're drinking is hindering their health and how much benefit they can receive from incorporating Kangen water into their life and what an easy lifestyle change it becomes, it's just a no-brainer. Every time I do a presentation, there's any kids that are watching the presentation, when they see those liquids turn color, their brain just instantly gets it. And instantly they just stop drinking sodas. And I think just if we get them to stop drinking sodas and switch it for Kangen water, the amazing results that they're going to receive are just unbelievable, because every single equation and chemical reaction that takes place in our body, inside our cells, takes place in the universal solvent called water. If water is not in those cells, and especially the right type of water, these equations and reactions aren't as efficient, and toxins begin to build up. Kangen water has the amazing ability to get inside the cells at the cellular level and clean all that out. About 7 years ago, there was a Nobel Prize awarded for a discovery for something called the aquaporin gene, which is a protein structure that is embedded into the cellular membrane of every single cell. Those cells are called phospholipid bilayers, and it's this little channel that actually allows water to flow in and out of the cells. And it was clinically shown with studies that hexagonal water go through those channels much more quickly and efficiently. So every single cell communicates with each other through these aquaporin genes that allow water to flow through them freely, and hexagonal water does a much, much better job for doing that. So when it comes to those benefits, whether there are health benefits, it's interesting how the longer we keep drinking this water, the more and more benefits we begin to notice. It's the best decision we could have made, and I believe that it's the easiest thing for anybody to implement, because you don't have to teach people how to drink water. It's a no-brainer. My advice for anybody who owns a facility, whether it's a physical therapy clinic or a functional training facility, or it's more of a bodybuilding gym, we're always looking for the latest, greatest equipment, whether it's a vibrating plate or a suspension gym or the latest, greatest technology that somebody came up to maximize the benefit of doing crunches or something. There is nothing that can possibly increase the revenue for your facility and improve the benefits that your clients and yourself will be experiencing by using this than a magic Kangen water machine.
When that business opportunity came, it was introduced to me, I thought, nah, that's not for me. I just want to share this product. But then as we start sharing that product and realize that it is okay to be compensated for changing the performance, if you will, of some of these elite athletes or general population. Yeah, it's exhilarating to go out there and see that we've been compensated fairly for sharing a technology that's really giving back that health and vitality and energy that people expect in the first place anyway. So it has been very unique to see the types of individuals that we get to be rewarded financially for changing their lives in a lot of ways.
If you're a skeptic, and hopefully you are, because I think it's important, I would suggest that you try the water. You know, I am so glad I tried the water, and if the water can help you like it helped me and my family, it's worth trying. I would really encourage you, open your mind, open your mouth, and try the water.
You know, for anyone, whether they're a weekend warrior, whether they're a high-performance athlete, whether they're a personal trainer or another area of profession inside the health and wellness or sports performance area, I invite you to really take the time to investigate and experience this water yourself. Whatever your sport or discipline or whatever your goals are in that area, you're going to find a radical improvement. The reason being, this water's capacity to hydrate, to remove acidic waste from the body, and to reduce free radicals inside the muscle is unparalleled. And I thought water was just water. And we know now today that the structure of your water is more important than the chemical compounds. That's what the top science says. And this water can transform what's possible for you as an athlete and as a professional. And I know there's a lot of people who are looking for extra income or other sources of revenue. This water provides that for you. Not as something you need to push on someone, but as something that naturally happens as an invitation because it's so powerful.
As a business owner, there are many things about this, installing the Kangen machine here, that has brought excitement to this place and to me. Number one, we have happier clients. Number two, we have healthier clients. We have less chemicals in our facility. We're cleaning with natural water that actually does a better job anyway. We have fitness clients who are seeing increased energy. They're having better results with their workouts. We have physical therapy patients who seem to be healing faster. That's what our therapists are telling me, that they're noticing a difference. Then just the extra revenue stream is such a great bonus to have. And it's so easy because we have just the location and the system and the people already here. So by helping them more, we're getting paid more. So it's a lot of fun.
We live in such a complicated world that the concept is, if it's not difficult and convoluted to some degree, it's probably not going to be effective. The reality is, you simply fill up your glass with a different type of water than you have been used to. That's how difficult it is. It's the most simple thing to change something, the water that you're doing every day anyway. And the changes from that really are life-changing in a lot of ways.
The advice I'd have to anyone who's been presented with a great opportunity of making Kangen water a part of their life is to apply what I did. Use the scientific method. Scientifically, disregard any studies, any literature. Just buy a machine right now. Put the machine in your house. Give it to your pets. Give it to your family. Give it to your neighbors. Drink it yourself. And see what the water can do for you. Do not rob yourself and your family of the great health benefits that this amazing technology can bring to your home, as well as improving our environmental status by avoiding all these plastics that we're throwing away. So do yourself a favor, do your family a favor, get a machine today and put it to the test. That's all we ask, is that you try the water.
Simply try the water. It is the simplest thing that you can do. The one change, the only thing you need to do, get rid of that plastic bottle, get a bottle, a refillable bottle, and drink the water. Just drink the water, make the change, try it for yourself, see what happens. We look forward to having you join us in this amazing opportunity and this amazing life-changing water. I invite you to just try the water.
You know, after over 20 years in the sports nutrition and exercise industry, there's a lot of different ways that people will go about trying to change. You hear about latest diets, you hear about different supplements or products or fitness regimens or the latest fad. But really, there is nothing that is more simple, nothing that is faster or more efficient to change the body chemistry, to improve the results of a person, than drinking Kangen water. And in fact, it's probably the easiest thing you could possibly change in your overall wellness program. And better yet, it'll probably give you more results for a longer period of time than anything else you could try.
In regards to those people that might be a little bit skeptical, I would honestly say, take this opportunity to at least try the water. Gain access to something that may change your life, like it has changed mine in many ways, like it has changed the lives of many professional athletes, like it's changed the professionalism of many facilities throughout the United States, like it's changed the life of many of the elderly or the young or the midlife. It does not matter. Everybody has some areas that can be improved. And when the largest component of your body is in fact water, try changing that water. Allow us an opportunity to share with you some technology that puts water back to the way it was meant to be from the very beginning. Try the water.